There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox.
And once again, welcome to GhostBox Live. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me. First thing I want to say to everybody is please, please, please share this video. It's the only way that we're going to get more people involved with what we want to do. And just wanted to make sure that, that everyone has a chance to see this. First of all, thank you very much for joining me tonight. This is me back from Deadwood, South Dakota. If you watched last week, I do want to explain what happened there because I think it needs some explaining for people who were thinking that that nothing was happening out there while we were there. And I can honestly say that couldn't be anything from the truth. You know, when we were out doing our live feed last Sunday, we did it from a hotel in Deadwood, which is very well known for all of its hauntings, its place in history. It's at the Bullock Hotel. A very, very influential place as far as Deadwood is concerned. And prior to us doing our session, we were getting a lot of energy in the room. We were getting a lot of people talking to us and a lot of things happening. And we had one feed, I was on the main floor. I had another feed up on the third floor, which I had to run up and down to try to get going. And ultimately that didn't work for us. And then we had another feed on the second floor, which kind of worked for us. And so the thing is that we started off by getting some communication and whatnot, and then it was blocked. Something blocked our communication last Sunday. And if you had noticed, it's hard to know. We weren't sure how good our internet connection was, but if you had noticed, we were getting some responses and then just stopped. And all we were getting is just white noise. And the thing is, it's like, you just don't know what that is. And once we kind of figured out that something was blocking us, and there's still a disagreement of sorts as far as what that was blocking us. But the consensus is something was blocking us, and that if you had watched, I had asked whatever it was to let us have communication for at least 10 minutes, and then the communication started up again. That's no coincidence, folks. That was really happening. The people up on the third floor, they were getting some information, and then their stuff kind of petered out, so they came down. It was unfortunate because we couldn't do anything. We couldn't get up there to see it. So it's all kind of, you know, it doesn't really matter. But there was a lot of things happening out there that night that we couldn't really put our finger on, to be honest. And that's kind of what paranormal is. You don't always have all the answers. And it's really a very interesting situation. So I just wanted to let everybody know kind of what happened last week. And I know a few of you were disappointed that we weren't going into the loved ones and talking to loved ones, and we'll be doing so tonight. So just wanted to let everyone know what's kind of going on. Hello to everybody. And you have nothing better to do. That's confidence just pouring into my end. Thank you very much. Hello, Lucy. Lucy, of course, was very helpful and instrumental to all of us last week being in Deadwood. Lucy, thank you very much. Just wanted to say that. And I wanted to share quickly a couple things that happened out there. We did do a private investigation out there that we're still monitoring, which we hope has gone well. We also ended up going to a cemetery that was a place that was really off the beaten track, and we weren't sure really what was going to happen there. So going there, I was very lucky because we ended up getting, and I'm just going to grab this real fast. I got on my K2, when I went up there, I had the K2 show me where a grave was. I got a spirit showing up on the K2, lighting everything up. And I asked a couple times, are you a spirit? Are you someone that, did I pass your grave? And it lights up. So that was telling me that they're answering me. And then I just said, would you show me where your gravesite is? And it lit up again as if to say, yep, I will. So I pointed one direction, no lights. I pointed to a few other directions, no lights. And then I went back and I said, well, there's a army grave, a military grave behind me. Is that your grave? And this thing lights up again. And as I'm walking over there, my obelisk says I, and then Yank, Y-A-N-K. And when you get there, you find it's a Civil War grave. And what he was saying, that he's a Yankee. And it was really a pretty powerful place in general, but it was a very powerful moment, and one that I was really very, very happy to be able to take part in. So, and Lucy showed us where that was. So thank you, Lucy. Thank you for everything this past week. It was an amazing amount of fun. And it was, I like to think when you do paranormal work that it helps grow you. It helps broaden your mind. It helps make you see things differently. And this week in particular was quite the week for that. And Lucy was very, very instrumental for that. Thank you very much. Also, just wanted to kind of share, we have the equipment set up tonight. The flashlight was going off earlier, which was really cool. I have a couple words that have come through the obelisk, 80 and immersion, and I have no idea what that means. Of course, we have the K2 as always, and then we have a REM pod. And if spirits want to have any of these go off, and I have this little thing that you just put your finger by it and it kind of lights up. If anybody, any spirits here, want to light up or make any of our stuff go off, please do, because we'd love to hear from you, okay? So we get that out of the way. How's everyone doing, by the way? How's everyone coping with what we call this monster known as 2020? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is happy that with everything going on. I want to, as always, kind of start off using pendulum. I have a question for all of you who use the pendulum, okay? I had a conversation this week with somebody who told me, and I have a different opinion, but doesn't mean my opinion is right, who told me that what you want to do is you want to train your pendulum so that if someone's saying yes, yes is always going to be the same way. If someone's saying no, then no is going to be the same way. So example, you just saw, maybe you couldn't see, that when I was saying yes, like right now, it's going backwards and forwards. And then when I'm saying no, it is going to go in circles. Do you see that? So the belief is that they believe that you train your pendulum to answer the same way every week. And I personally believe that it is the spirit who comes in and uses it as a conduit, and they dictate the way that they want to communicate. Just like if you're using dowsing rods, you're going to ask them, can you show me what yes means to you? Can you show me what no means to you? So, I'm just curious, for those of you who are using pendulums, what is the way that you do it? Do you believe that the spirits dictate it, or do you like to think that it is up to you to train the pendulum to be the same way every time? There is no right or wrong answer. I just would really like to know everyone's opinion on it. But what I am going to do, and I do this every week because in my opinion, once again, just my opinion, I think asking spirit how they want to communicate with me is a sign of respect. I do not assume that they're not going to communicate with me the same way every single time. So can you show me yes, please? Can you show me no, please? See, it moves, it changes, it's changing direction. Will you talk with us tonight? This is to all the spirits that are around, and there's any spirit that we're going to call in, especially to any of our relatives that are here tonight. I would really like to have the opportunity to speak with you to have a conversation, to connect with your loved ones. What the purpose of what we do here is not exploitation, but rather communication. And that what we're here to do is talk with you so that you could hear their voice and that they can hear yours. And I cannot tell you, and I hope you can feel it, how much they prefer to hear your voice and how much comfort that you bring. So please consider communicating with us tonight. And we'll be respectful, and we will do what we need to help you. And any spirits, as always, any spirits who want to communicate with us, of course, do so, but also any spirits who need to be crossed over. We always like to make sure that there's room for spirits to cross over. So if you are wanting to do so, please make yourself known to us tonight. You can do so by the equipment over there. And we'll just do it. So we can talk. Okay, so we're gonna do that. First, before we get started, there's some people responded about the pendulum. And there's some interesting responses here. So I'm going to just go back here. Let's see. I mean, of course, you have to show comments like that. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you very much coming in. Let's see. Some people's responses to the pendulum. Spirit dictates it, in my opinion. Let's see. I haven't used the pendulum before, but I have used rods, so it's interesting to get the real responses from them. Jake has an interesting thought. Would it be better to hold the pendulum on a stationary object other than an arm that can slightly move? It's a fair question, but I do believe what makes the connection is the human touch, just like using dowsing rods and also using and I'm just kind of doing the arm things, using a planchette for a Ouija board. That's just my opinion. And I just feel like that in my mind, energy from spirits come through you and help make things move. But Jake, I mean, I would highly, if you have an idea of how that works, let me know. We could try it. Let's see. Graham Mary says spirit chooses direction, works for me. Amber says, I do ask it to show me, but it's always the same every time. I agree. It is the same way every time. Let's see, I'm losing my place here. That's not great. Chad likes Jake's idea very much. Let's see. And I think Anne also asked, can the pendulum be put on a stand that sets flat surface instead of being held by hand? I personally believe that it's the human touch that makes it work. But as part of a paranormal researcher, as we all are, not just me, we should try it, right? If there's we should figure out a way to do so and see if that works. Let's see, Jake comes back and he says he's half skeptic, half believer, so would want to rule out anything that can make it move. That's fair. Super, super fair. I also just like holding it. I'm just going to be honest. I just like holding it. So I have my pendulum in a bottle called a spirit bottle. I have a bottle full of spirits too. Actually, I have a lot of bottles full of spirits. I'm not going to lie. And I think I drank a lot of those bottles over the last week in Deadwood. And then Kimberly is like, I agree with you. So Don believes it's your connection too. These are just all very cool ideas. It doesn't necessarily mean that any of us are right over the other, but I like to see that the fact that a lot of us do agree that we're not training pendulums, that we are, we're using these things as conduits. I'm not training the devices over here to, we're not training the devices to do what we want. There's spirit coming through there. So, that's something that, we could certainly try. To be honest, Becky, I'm surprised you guys haven't tried it already. It would be very significant. And like I said, these are things that should be tried. It shouldn't just be like, well, nope, it's not the way it's done. Because that's not how paranormal works. Paranormal works with us trying different things, doesn't it? And trust me, I know that, I think I'm pretty good at holding it still, but I'm also not perfect. I know that there's times that things are moving, and you could see the hand moving a little bit, but that's just like right there, it moved because I took a breath. So what I do try to do, because right now my elbow's in the air, like I just don't care, and I put it down like on my other hand as kind of like something that holds it, because I just don't have the strength like most human beings to keep it, in one place. So we just kind of keep things moving, and then can you show me no? There you go. Will you talk to us tonight, please? Are any of your relatives watching us right now? Will you tell us who your relatives are, please? Do I have any spirits that came back with me from Deadwood? Yes. Will you talk to us tonight? I'm not moving my hand, and it's gotten bigger. Okay, now I just moved my hand. Nice. So anyone who's just tuning in and just see me kind of staring at a rock moving back and forth, I do apologize. It's weird, isn't it? But I love it. I know you all too love it. So there's that. Let's see. Hello. Thank you for joining us. You said you're from Tulsa. I appreciate it. It's interesting, Greg. First of all, I like your name. Everyone usually foreplace their hands on a wooden table, and the pendulum hangs inside the bottle. And I promise I will learn to read. So, that's another way to do it. And that's one way that I would love to try it. Thank you for that, Greg. Really appreciate it. So let's get our recording device out. I'm going to be recording off of my Zoom, which is one of my favorite recorders, and one that is the most significant as far as audio quality. We were using that quite a bit last week for our investigations and whatnot. The hotel we stayed in two hotels. We stayed at the Bullock, and then we stayed at, oh crap, where's the second one that was falling apart on us? That was really quite the experience, because it clearly hadn't been touched, it seemed like since the 1800s or whatever. Deadwood Dick's, I believe. And that has an elevator that truly is a piece of its time that pulls you up via a rope, and it could fit maybe 2 people in it at once. And that was exciting. I can say exciting because we lived. But it was kind of at the same time, John's wife, Chris, and I would always take the stairs because we didn't want it to be the final adventure for us on the paranormal. It was very interesting, let's put it that way. And the energy in the room and in the hallways were kind of strange too. So yeah, there's that. All right, for those of you wondering, do I actually even have a spirit box? Yes, we are going to be doing this now. So let's see here. Let's turn this on. I'm going to start off with the SB7, as it's something that has been working really well for the last couple of weeks, and it worked really well for me over the last week. This is the June 28th, Sunday, Facebook Live. And so I want to do that. Once I'm done with the SB7, if we have time, if it's still working, I because of Becky and Eric from Northern Shadows Paranormal Research Team, they had been using the S-Box. I thought maybe I might use that if time permits tonight. They were getting some really good responses from that also. So just so you know, I went to Deadwood with my team, which is currently just me and Minnesota GhostBox, and then I went with Things That Go Bump Minnesota, which was John and his wife Chris, and Ryan and his wife Ashley, and then we went along with Northern Shadows Paranormal Research Team, which was Eric and Becky, and we had a great time. So let's start it up. As always, let me know if you can't hear it. Reverse sweep. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay. All right, it feels like there's spirits around here. Yeah? Where are you from? I'm wondering if there's any spirits from Deadwood or Lead here. Okay, a couple things came through. Sounds like someone said F you, which makes me believe maybe that's from Lead. One said probably. And did I talk with you in Lead, South Dakota at all? Can I get a name from you, please? Was that Lisa? I thought I heard Elisa. You know, Lisa, not Elisa. Lisa. So hold on, guys. Are you all saying that you heard Deadwood and Lead on the spirit box? Because I thought I heard both of them, but I thought that I barely heard Deadwood. And if so, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm no expert. I think it seems pretty cool to me. And just so you all know, I've been getting kind of some feedback from you all about this, that there is at least a 10 to 15 second delay between what I'm saying and when you see it, okay? Okay, so you all are hearing Deadwood. That's pretty cool. All right. All right, very cool. Becky with her Mount Rushmore picture. Chad heard Larry. Probably. I was focused on you, Becky. I also keep hearing Robert. I heard Lisa again. I swear I'm hearing obscenities, which isn't very nice. This is a family program. Who's here from Deadwood? Okay, that's interesting. Also, Jackie, I just wanted to point out that, and for some reason my software is slow tonight, and I don't know if it's my connection, so I apologize. You might have heard Mariah. Here's the thing. The cemetery in Deadwood is Mount Moriah, Moriah. And it also costs $2 to get into it. I'm just saying. If you want to get there early in the morning to do a walk, they're there still collecting your money. It's ridiculous. I'm talking to whoever will talk to me. There isn't anything specific that we started yet. What we're trying to do right now is trying to establish any kind of connection. You know, I'm not going to go in right away and just be like, is this person there? Is this person there? What I'm doing is I am trying to figure out the kind of the landscape of the spirits out here. Oh, interesting, John. All right. Darlene, are you here? That wasn't Darlene, I'm quite sure. Darlene, I believe from Lead, are you here? You can come through this device, or you want to turn on one. All right. Couple things. I'm going to ask about Robert in a second. First of all, who's the one that keeps sending obscenities my way? Can you send me your name, please? I mean through the spirit box, not the... Exactly. Who is telling me to F off constantly? Can you give me your name? It's interesting. I'll have to admit, Lucy, I didn't hear that myself. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. All right, you heard Betty. I thought it was Becky, to be very honest. But it was a woman. It was a woman that said it. See, there it was again. Someone is not happy tonight. It's lively. Right, Tanya? Luckily, we're not like a TV station on the FCC would shut us down, right? Okay. So Chad has heard Sandy a couple times. Has anyone else heard that? See, that's what I heard. Yep. So I know that I have a Becky here. I know that I have a Becky here right now. And her father's name was Robert. Robert, are you here for her? Was that a yes? Robert, are you still here? Just heard Lisa again. Yeah. Robert, are you here for Becky, your daughter? Becky, do you think it's a possibility that's your dad? Yep. Well, pretty cool. Well, then you were meant to tune in tonight, weren't you? Super, super cool. Yeah. All right, let's see here. I'd still like to know who's swearing at me. You say morning? I mean, it's morning somewhere. And Darlene, have you ever come through for us? Yeah, me too. John, did you hear Leyland, or did you want me to ask about a Leyland? Yeah, I thought that's what I heard too, Denise. Oh, is he now? Leyland, are you here? Leyland, there's no reason to be swearing at me at all, okay? You got to stop. If there's something you want to say, we're all ears, but vulgarity is not the way to do it. Do you understand? Oh, I meant to answer the question, Jackie. This is the SB7. I swear I heard it again. All right, Gina, let's see who we can find for you. So if we can create communication. Kimberly, your mom, Gina, would like to hear from you. Can you do so? Can you talk? I thought it was a yeah. Can you? Kimberly, are you there? Because Gina is looking to hear from her daughter Kimberly, her mom Mary, or her father Orville. okay? Yeah, I heard that too, right after I asked the first time. But then Celia believes the opposite, which is possible too. So much comes through at once. Sometimes it's hard to know. Kimberly, if you're trying to come through, I would suggest trying to come through stronger because we're having a hard time hearing you, okay? Now, Becky, did you hear Gina? Gina, did you hear your name? Now, Gina, did you hear Kimberly, or is that how you want her to be addressed? Okay, well, that's kind of cool. That's super cool also. I also want to point out, for those of you who are with me in South Dakota, that the obelisk over there has only spouted out 2 words tonight so far. But when we were at the private investigation, you know that it had about 20 words that came out, and they were pretty, see, now that sounds like Gina to me. And other people think, Gina, that Orville had been said a couple of times. This is Sherry is not the only person who believes this. I've seen it a number of times on the feed that people have heard Orville. So, Kimmy, your mom wants to talk with you. Can you come through? It sounds like you did before, but she didn't hear you. So can you say it again, please, so she can hear you? That sounds like Kim. People keep hearing Orville. Did you hear that, Gina? Because I certainly did. And then I also heard Kim. That was Orville. Orville, how are you doing? I'm well. That sounds like I'm well. So we're getting a slew of people who have heard the same thing I heard it too. And Jackie and I both heard Orville. I asked Orville, how you doing? And he said, I'm well. So I hope that gives you some kind of, I don't know, makes you feel better, makes you feel good. Almost sound like your dad or something, like your dad. Chad, who is Ron? Thought I heard Chad. Chad would like to know if Ron is here. Thank you, Chad. Ron, your son, Chad, would like to talk to you. Okay. Exactly. I thought that was Becky again. Ron, would you be able to talk to your son, please? Could you use devices also? All right. You got Tanya that heard Ron. Becky heard Ron. Amber heard Ron. Cool. Let's see here. And just so you know, Celia, we don't know everything either. That's what we're doing this for, so we all learn. So totally understand why, it's just we're all learning together, right? Listen. That's what I thought it just said, was listen. So John heard Rebecca. Becky called Rebecca when she was in trouble, so she's probably called Rebecca all the time. Robert, is that you talking to your daughter? That maybe she wasn't hearing you? You're welcome. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Well, I always said it in reverse, but I don't think it necessarily means that the words come out in reverse from the broadcast. It's just going through the frequencies in reverse. I know that way. Robert, could you answer me this, please? Your daughter wants to know if you're okay. Are you okay? I actually heard that like right after I asked the question. And Jackie uses the SB11, which I had on here, I think, 3 weeks ago or something like that. We had pretty good reaction to it. I've not been a big fan of it, but it worked out pretty well. I've had a number of people who had heard That's Enough come through here. Who's had enough? Like what is your name? Robert again. Well, possibly, Jackie, but I'll tell you, and many of those people who have been watching me do this for years knows that Robert is a name that has popped up on virtually every spirit box session I've ever done. I go back a long way with Robert coming through for me. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Again. Again. Becky heard louder. Well, it's good to know that we're all hearing the same thing. Right? You know, every time I see that doll on something, like some news program or something, I always think he comes through here all the time. Is it him? I don't think it is either. Well, I don't want any of it. Are there multiple Roberts here? What about names of any other spirits that are around here right now? Okay. How many spirits are around here right now? Can I get a number, please? Is one of the Roberts, is your daughter's name Jackie? I thought I just actually heard Jackie. Like, it wasn't very clear, but I thought that that's what I heard, to be honest. Oh, good question, Sharon. I have about 30 some spirit boxes. And I also have equipment over at this table that doesn't want to go on, but that's you know, whatever. Okay, so we can see how far this feed is delayed. So we got a lot of people who have also heard Jackie as well. So I think it's fair to say that, who was it, Mandy? You said 2 Roberts. I think you're right, at least 2 Roberts, and the father of 2 different people that are here. Am I fair to say that? All right, here's the question I want to ask all spirits here right now. Is there anybody here, any spirits, I don't care about anything other at the moment, any of you that need to be crossed over? All right. I would like to, I'm just going through, I thought I heard the same, to be very honest. Yes. We've got a lot of people that heard the same thing. Then I think we should do it. Okay. Even the one who is swearing at me, if you need to be crossed over, you're welcome to do so also. Everybody has the chance to be given that, okay? So just so you know, a couple people have heard this, the word over, which is really interesting, and we might have just missed the word cross before it. Spirits, as much as I like to joke about things, your safety and everything that goes along with that is most important to me, okay? We're going to cross you over now. I ask that everybody who is watching tonight to not send your energy, but send your intention. Those are two different things. You send your intention for helping these spirits find the way, find what they're looking for, and help me help them cross over. Okay? All right. Let's do this. Spirits, you need to be crossed over. You need to do the following, okay? You need to find the light. You'll be surprised to know that it was always there for you, but we're opening it up now so that you can see it. Starts this, right? And it just gets bigger and bigger. It's going to be big enough for you to go to, find it, and walk through to it, okay? We're all here helping you, okay? Yes. Do you see it? Go to it. You go to the light. They always say it. There's never been anything more true. You go to the light. There is someone over there, someone you'll know, ready to help you bridge that gap and go to the other side of the veil, okay? Do you see it? Have you done it? Have you crossed? Hello? I swear I just heard a spirit say, F yeah. This is quite the night for profanity here at GhostBox Live. Okay, good. Thank you. Jackie, you bring up a good point. If you don't think you're worthy of crossing over, you are wrong. You are worthy to cross over. You have every right to cross over. Please do so. If that's what you desire, then you have the right to do so. There will be nothing there that will punish you or persecute you, okay? Everyone can. Is there anyone who has not been able to do so? You have to go to the light if you want to cross over. It's there for you. You don't need to be stuck. Trying to give you a push. Just guide yourself. There should be a hand on the other side to pull you over. Yes, an older woman. I see her as an older woman. For the one who can't cross, what is your name? Could you say that louder, please? I did ask a name. I got it. And she's something different. Not now. She's not. I can't do anything with her right now. It's not the name I heard. If it's Audrey, though, can you light up equipment or something to confirm? That's not Robert. You may have heard that name, but I don't think that's the name that came through. It is? Audrey, if that is your name, Anise, did you hear that name or did you hear a different name? Did you hear Audrey or did you hear a different name? Because there's a name I thought I heard. And you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So Audrey, if you are not able to cross over, we can only guide you so far, and we can only remove so many barriers. What is it that's stopping you from crossing? I'm pretty sure I know what it is, to be honest. That's going to be an ongoing project. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think whatever you all are feeling, you're going to have to hold on it for a bit. I don't think it's what you think it is, okay? And yeah, yep, I'm pretty sure I know what it is now. Do you hear the profanity still coming through now? Greg, something F you. That's what just came through. I'm sorry, I can't. And I don't mean to be that way. I really don't. I don't mean to turn this into something dramatic. But yes, kind of. Nope. No, it's not. So we crossed over as many as we could, okay? Just waiting for the next. Anything else you want to say? Wow. That's what it was again. We're going to call it quits, okay? Thank you to the nice spirits for talking to us tonight. We're shutting down this session in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So tonight, you need to really, you really have to protect yourself tonight, okay? And just remember that spirits are not allowed to talk to you after this. Your loved ones can come through, love and light can come through, but anything else is not allowed here, not allowed in this house, not allowed in your house, not allowed to touch your family, okay? Call out your family member's name when you're asking for protection, okay? For example, I will call out this house, St. Michael, Metatron, all the angels of love and protection. Please protect this house. Please protect me, my cat Linus, my roommate Robert, his cats Caddy and Zach. Okay? So just protect yourselves, okay? Because you just need to. And that's just how you should do it every single time. This is a little bit different. I mean, you could just see that there's a number of profanity-laden things that came through, and that there is something that's just not quite right. So someone asked if it was something from Deadwood. I don't believe it is. I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But that being said, we had many we've had many good things happen tonight. We've had a lot of people that heard their loved ones, a lot of people that heard just some really cool spirit interaction. So always keep up with the positives of the situation, okay? We hear about positive. We're only trying to bring in spirits of love and above, is what we like to say. So keep that in mind. Remember, everything is good. Everything is fine, okay? If you end up having some kind of reaction to tonight's session, and I'm not trying to scare anyone here, get in touch with me. We'll try to figure it out, okay? I don't want people to stop watching because stuff is happening to them at their house. You should be shutting that stuff out, and make sure that everything's good. Somebody had just mentioned that they're going to sage. You know, if you have sage, you just might want to do it. I might do it here in a second or so. And then we will just move on and keep going, okay? So if there is something that's going on, or you just need our help in general, You can go for paranormal investigations, consultations, whatever. My site is mn-ghostbox.org. Keep in mind that we have a lot of spirit box evidence that we've collected over the years up there. Some really good. Some are like, you might listen and go like, I don't think that's what it is. You reach out to me at greg@mn-ghostbox.org. Of course, as always, you can reach out to me via Facebook. You can go to my profile and reach out to me if you want to, or feel free to friend me. Feel free to go and like my pages, Minnesota Ghost Box on Facebook. Also, Parafriends Events is another one. We're getting ready for a bunch of paranormal events this year, so we would love to do all that. You know, like I said, just keep on the positive, such as Becky was able to hear from her dad. And that was really cool. You know, that would be, you know, I'm glad, Lucy, that you were here. Graham, yep. Mary Graham, please do the same. If you get stuff, I'd love to hear your take on whatever else. And Amber, of course, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining in tonight. We'll be back next week. Yep. Please keep on love and light. Okay. That's the guidance here for all of you. And I know some of you personally, and I know that it's easier said than done to stay with the positives. You might hear a knock or something like that. Stay positive. Okay. I'm not saying anything negative is coming out to you, but we had some stuff happen tonight that I'm not super thrilled about. And I think I know what it is. But you just have to stay positive and let me know if anything unusual happens, okay? I'd love to hear from you. You guys mean a lot to me, and I don't want anything to scare you off or scare you in general, okay? So what we'll do, we'll call it a night. This is quite the exciting episode. We'll be back next week. And next week being the 4th of July weekend, I would love to actually see, I mean, we can always talk to our loved ones, okay? I will always want to do that. But I also want to see if we can get anyone from the War of Independence, you know, anyone that's a political figure or whatnot, because I find that very fascinating. And I think it would be really interesting if we could do something like that. I'm not into getting the celebrities, so to speak, but, you know, if we can, we're starting to get better at this, aren't we, all of us? We're starting to get the people who we want to bring in, and maybe we'll do that. One last look at the equipment table. Anyone want to get a hold of us? Anyone want to turn on a device for us, please? Anyone want to say a new word in the Ovilus? It's so odd that nothing happened at all, and up until I started, the flashlight was going off. I'm not saying that it was intelligent communication, but it was going off, and now it's not going off at all. So very interesting. That's it for me. Thank you all very, very much for joining in, and I will see you next week. Stay safe, everyone. Take care, and good night. Bye-bye.